Ahead of the 2025 general election, Senior Minister Lee Hsien Loong urged Singaporeans to support a strong and capable government, implicitly referring to the People's Action Party, emphasizing its importance for the nation's survival and prosperity. However, many Singaporeans have rejected this narrative, pointing to rising living costs and concerns over declining leadership effectiveness since the passing of Lee Kuan Yew. Critics argue that the PAP government is losing its grip on the needs of ordinary citizens, questioning its strength and competence. In response, calls for greater checks and balances have emerged, with many advocating for a stronger opposition presence in Parliament to ensure more effective and efficient governance. On 8 February, during a Chinese New Year dinner at Tek Gi Community Club, former Prime Minister SM Lee addressed public concerns regarding the cost of living and housing. Lee outlined the government's plans to tackle immediate challenges and ensure long-term growth ahead of the general election, which must be held by November 2025. He stressed that Singapore's ability to thrive in an uncertain global environment relies on two fundamental factors: a competent and stable government and a cohesive, supportive population. We need a strong and competent government that anticipates challenges, earns your trust, and makes good decisions. And we need to stay united as one people who understand the challenges we face and work closely with the government to achieve our dreams, he said, highlighting Singapore's stability over the past 60 years. SM Lee contrasted this with other nations, where frequent political turnover leads to unstable policies and lost opportunities. We've avoided the political churn where governments fail to deliver and policies keep chopping and changing, he remarked, attributing Singapore's consistent progress to long-term governance and public trust. Lee highlighted Singapore's 4% economic growth in 2024 and a smooth leadership transition, while cautioning about uncertainties from global tensions, including strained US-China relations and the ongoing war in Ukraine. He acknowledged public concerns over rising costs and detailed government assistance measures, such as CDC vouchers, GST vouchers, and USAVE rebates, with more support expected in the upcoming budget. On housing, he assured affordability through the new Standard, Plus and Prime BTO framework, and noted that HDB has cleared its COVID-19 construction backlog. Major infrastructure projects, including Changi Airport Terminal 5, the Tuas Megaport, and new MRT lines, aim to enhance connectivity despite temporary inconveniences. Sustainability efforts like the Long Island Reclamation Project and HDB solar panel installations will help mitigate rising sea levels and reduce energy costs. He also introduced SG Share, a national giving initiative, and reaffirmed the government's commitment to social mobility through schemes like Comlink Plus and the Fresh Start Housing Scheme. Observing comments on Facebook posts from mainstream media outlets such as The Straits Times, CNA, Leon Bao, and Mothership, it is evident that many disagree with SM Lee's narrative, advocating a strong mandate for the ruling PAP government. Their frustrations stem from rising living costs and growing perceptions of declining leadership effectiveness. There are comments accused SM Lee of fear-mongering ahead of GE 2025, arguing that his call for unity with the PAP government was a tactic to maintain political dominance, rather than a genuine concern for national stability. Several pointed out that ordinary Singaporeans are struggling with the high cost of living, attributing their financial difficulties to government policies such as GST hikes. Others dismissed SM Lee's remarks as outdated rhetoric, asserting that Singaporeans today are well-informed and capable of assessing government policies independently. Some felt that such speeches no longer resonate, as their daily economic struggles contradict the government's assurances. Netizens also questioned the PAP government's strength and competence, criticizing its leadership for being out of touch with ordinary Singaporeans' struggles. Many pointed to the rise in gig work, such as food delivery and security jobs, as evidence that economic conditions are worsening despite claims of national unity. Some argued that the government prioritizes political dominance over collaboration, urging it to work with the opposition instead of using legal and institutional measures to suppress dissent. Others felt that governance has declined since the passing of Lee Kuan Yew, accusing current leaders of being more focused on power and wealth than on serving the people. Some acknowledged good governance but criticized the declining quality of town council services, calling for a management shake-up. Others expressed a desire for a government that listens to the people and understands their daily struggles rather than just projecting strength and competence. A netizen disagreed with SM Lee's narrative, emphasizing the need for more checks and balances, greater accountability, transparency, and humility from the government. There were strong calls for greater political diversity in the upcoming GE 2025, with comments advocating for a stronger opposition presence in Parliament. Some suggested that allowing more opposition candidates would lead to more effective and efficient governance. Some comments mocked SM Lee for preaching unity while silencing those who disagree with him, highlighting the government's actions against political opponents. A netizen suggested that SM Lee should lead by example, starting with family unity, which would then extend to community and national unity. He argued that personal issues, like family problems, eventually affect the country, and leaders should understand the struggles of common people before addressing larger issues. Another comment criticized him for advocating unity while his own family experiences division, referring to his younger brother Lee Hsien Loong and nephew Lee Shengwu living in exile. Lee Hsien Loong and his wife Lee Suet Fern are now political refugees in the United Kingdom. LHY sought asylum, citing fears of persecution due to ongoing legal actions against him and his family, which stemmed from a public dispute with his brother Lee Hsien Loong. One comment from Leon He Zhao criticized SM Lee's call for unity, questioning his credibility, stating, "How can someone who cannot even unite his own family say such things? I have serious doubts."